Listen very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is the darkest psychological trick Machiavelli used to make people obsessed, loyal, and completely unable to walk away. Most people think attraction is about looks, money, or status. Machiavelli knew the truth. Obsession starts in the mind, not in the eyes, and his secret was terrifyingly simple. He made himself a question, not an answer. Let me explain. When you act like an answer, people think they understand you. You're predictable, common, replaceable. But when you act like a question, when you show only fragments of your personality, when you reveal just enough to spark curiosity but never enough to be fully read, the brain gets trapped in a loop. This loop is called the Zeigarnik effect. And Machiavelli weaponized it before psychology even existed. He created unfinished tension on purpose. He spoke less than he knew, revealed less than he had, showed strength but hid intention, gave attention but pulled it back, created warmth but broke the pattern with cold silence. Why? Because the human mind becomes addicted to inconsistency, not stability. People don't crave what they fully understand. They crave what they can't quite figure out. So here's Machiavelli's rule. Give clarity only in your presence. Give confusion in your absence. When you do this, something dangerous happens. People start thinking about you when you're not there. They replay your words. They analyze your gestures. They search for clues. They create narratives in their own mind. And that internal narrative becomes emotional attachment. Obsession doesn't come from you. It comes from their own imagination working overtime. So here is the exact formula he used. 1. Appear interested but not invested. A little warmth, then step back. 2. Speak less than they expect. Silence is mysterious. Mystery is attractive. 3. Control the pace of communication. Slow, then fast. Available, then unavailable. 4. Reward unpredictably. Keep them guessing. 5. Never reveal your full motive. Your mystery is your power. Do this and watch what happens. People start chasing you. They start competing for your attention. They start imagining a story with you at the center. Because Machiavelli understood something everyone today forgets. Humans don't fall for people. They fall for the emotional puzzles they can't solve. Become the puzzle, and you become unforgettable. Listen closely, because you're about to learn the darkest social trigger Machiavelli used to make people chase him, respect him, and obsess over his presence, even when he barely said a word. Most people beg for attention. Machiavelli understood one truth. The person who controls emotional contrast controls desire. What does that mean? Humans don't get addicted to you. They get addicted to the highs and lows you create inside them. Look at this. When you're consistent, predictable, always available, the brain adapts. It stops feeling anything. You become background noise. But when you mix warmth with distance, curiosity with silence, presence with sudden disappearance, you trigger the same psychological system casinos use to keep players locked in for hours. Variable reward. Machiavelli did it centuries ago without knowing the science. He mastered emotional unpredictability, and this forced people to constantly seek his approval, his attention, his reaction. Here's how he did it. He gave just enough interest to make you feel chosen, then pulled away fast enough to make you doubt everything. That doubt becomes a hook. That hook becomes a need. That need becomes obsession. Because the human mind can't handle uncertainty, it tries to fix it by chasing clarity. And that's the trap. The more someone tries to understand you, the more emotionally attached they become. So here's the actual tactic he used. Step 1, give a moment of intensity. A deep look, a confident comment, a rare compliment. Make it powerful. Step 2, break the pattern. Immediately. Silence, distance, short replies. Not cold, just unreadable. Step 3, return with calm dominance. Like nothing happened, like you didn't even notice the shift. This creates a psychological signature called the magnetic gap. The space between who they think you are and what they can't figure out. And the bigger that gap becomes, the more they want you. Not want, need. Because now you're the only person who can close the tension you created. And the brain becomes addicted to the one who creates and resolves emotional tension. That's the Machiavellian trick. Control the emotional weather, and people will follow your climate. Do this with confidence and watch something wild happen. They'll start adjusting to you, waiting for your replies, analyzing your tone, trying to regain your approval, trying to impress you, because you turned their nervous system into your instrument. Machiavelli knew the ultimate form of attraction isn't physical, it's psychological control, and whoever controls the mind, controls the heart. Listen very carefully, because what I'm about to reveal is the reason some people become magnetic, unforgettable, almost addictive, while others fade into the background like they never existed. Machiavelli had a rule so psychologically sharp, so brutally effective, that people around him couldn't stop thinking about him, even when they tried. He called it the power of strategic silence. Not normal silence, not passive silence, but silence that controls the other person's mind. Here's the truth. People fear silence more than rejection. Rejection gives clarity. But silence? Silence activates the survival instinct. When someone can't read your emotions, your intentions, your thoughts, their mind starts attacking them from the inside. They get anxious, curious, restless, and slowly addicted. Machiavelli understood one thing. If people can't predict you, they'll try to win you. The more they try to understand you, the more power you gain. Here's the rule. When someone gets too comfortable with you, you pull back. Not disappear forever. Just break the rhythm. Reduce availability. Reduce emotional expression. Reduce predictability. What happens? They feel a small void, a micro-anxiety, a psychological imbalance. Did something change? Did I do something? Am I losing them? This fear of loss is the strongest form of emotional gravity, and Machiavelli weaponized it. When he returned, he did it calmly, effortlessly, without explanation, without apology. That's what made people lean in, respect him more, chase his approval. Because his silence taught them one thing. I control the pace, not you. This rule reshapes how people see you. You're no longer just another option. You become someone they feel they could lose, and therefore someone they fight to keep. Psychology is simple. Humans chase what feels scarce. They undervalue what's always there, and they obsess over what they don't fully understand. That's why this Machiavellian tactic works today even more than it did back then. Most people are desperate for attention. They overshare. They always explain. They always try to reassure. But when you become the one person who doesn't, you become the person everyone tries to figure out. That's silent power. That's psychological dominance. That's the Machiavellian rule. Make them feel your absence before they ever get comfortable with your presence. Machiavelli understood something about human nature that most people today have completely forgotten. People don't fall in love with you. They fall in love with the feeling you create inside them. And the most powerful feeling of all, uncertainty mixed with desire. This combination is the true psychological obsession trigger. Here's how Machiavelli used it. He never let people fully understand him. Never let them feel fully comfortable. Never let them be 100% sure of where they stood. Not because he was cold, but because he understood a brutal truth. Predictability kills attraction. Unpredictability feeds it. When someone knows exactly what you feel, what you'll say, what you'll do, their brain stops paying attention. You become familiar, and familiar becomes invisible. But when you mix warmth with unpredictability, presence with distance, interest with mystery, you create emotional tension. And emotional tension is the root of obsession. Here's the exact formula Machiavelli used. The obsession trigger. Step 1. Give a moment of intense presence. Make them feel chosen, seen, important. For a moment, you give them something rare, the full weight of your attention. Step 2. Break the pattern. Pull back, not with anger, not with coldness, but with calm confidence, as if you have your own world they're not fully part of. Step 3. Return with higher value, not sooner, not apologetically, but with intention. This creates an internal loop in the other person's mind. What changed? Why do I want more? What am I missing? Human psychology can't resist unresolved tension. The brain doesn't like unfinished stories, and you become that unfinished story. This is the reason some people can't stop thinking about you. Not because you're always there, but because you're not fully theirs. This is the Machiavellian secret. Attraction is not built from contact. It's built from contrast. Too much presence makes you predictable. Too much distance makes you forgettable. But the right balance creates emotional gravity, and this gravity pulls people toward you, without you having to chase, explain, or prove anything. This is the real dark trick. The moment someone thinks they almost have you, their mind becomes addicted to closing the gap. And the harder they try, the more power you gain. You don't become irresistible by giving more. You become irresistible by giving just enough to make them want more. That's not manipulation. That's human nature wrapped in strategy. Exactly how Machiavelli intended. Most people spend their whole lives chasing attention, but Machiavelli figured out how to make attention chase him. He understood a simple, brutal law of human nature. People don't value what's available. They value what feels earned. And that's where his dark trick begins. Machiavelli used something I call the law of controlled access. Not isolation, not coldness, but controlled access. You allow people closer only when it benefits you, and never at the pace they expect. Here's how he played this game, and how you can use it today. Step 1. Don't give full access to anyone too soon. Most people rush. They talk too much, give too much, reveal too much, and make themselves emotionally cheap. Machiavelli understood that when you give instant access, you lose influence instantly. Why? Because the human brain automatically devalues what comes easily. It's biological, it's instinctive, it's primal. Step 2. Make people earn deeper parts of you. A conversation with you should feel different, not because you're arrogant, but because you don't hand out your time, energy, or attention like free samples. Your presence should feel like a reward, not a default. When someone feels they have to behave better, listen closer, invest more, improve themselves just to stay in your space. That's when you hold power. Step 3. Withdraw strategically to increase perceived value. Not ghosting, not disappearing for weeks, just enough distance to create emotional contrast. This contrast forces the mind to ask, why do I miss them? Why do I want more? Did I lose access? And that tiny spark of uncertainty flips the dynamic. They start chasing you, not because you tricked them, but because scarcity naturally creates desire. Step 4. Return with presence, not neediness. When you reappear, even briefly, you show calm confidence, stability, control. You don't explain your absence. You don't overtalk. You don't overcompensate. Your presence feels intentional, not needy. Purposeful, not desperate. This makes every interaction feel rare, and rarity is the strongest form of psychological value. Machiavelli used this law to influence nobles, armies, alliances, powerful families. But today it works in relationships, dating, business, friendships, everywhere. Because the truth is simple. People chase what feels limited. People crave what feels exclusive. People desire what feels just out of reach. You don't become valuable by begging for attention. You become valuable by controlling access to yourself. This is the Machiavellian law. When you decide who gets close, you automatically become the one they want to get close to. This is the dark trick behind every unforgettable, magnetic, obsessive connection, and almost nobody understands it. Here's the final Machiavellian truth people never understand. Obsession isn't created through intensity, it's created through controlled intensity. Machiavelli mastered something called psychological pacing, the rhythm between presence and absence. When you're too available, the mind relaxes. When you're too distant, the mind disconnects. But when you alternate the two with precision, the mind enters a loop of pursuit, curiosity, and emotional tension. This tension is the engine of obsession. People don't chase what's clear. They chase what feels meaningful, but slightly out of reach. Machiavelli never projected himself as a simple figure. He gave glimpses of depth, then pulled back into silence. He revealed intention, then reshaped it with ambiguity. He made people feel chosen, then challenged, desired, then unsure, trusted, then tested. This duality activates the brain's strongest reward system, unpredictable reinforcement. Every moment with you feels like a discovery. Every silence feels like a question. Every word feels loaded with meaning. They don't just think about you, their mind starts orbiting you. Here's the real dark trick. People obsess over the person who makes them feel something they can't fully explain. You become a puzzle with emotional stakes, a riddle with consequences, a presence that feels both dangerous and irresistible. And once someone invests mental energy into decoding you, they emotionally bond to that effort. That's the psychological trap Machiavelli understood. Once their mind works for you, their heart follows. Your value rises not when you show everything you are, but when you show just enough to ignite imagination. Not when you give endless attention, but when you give earned attention. Not when you chase validation, but when you become the person who creates emotional gravity. This is the hidden architecture behind obsession. Mystery hooks them, contrast pulls them in, rhythm conditions them, meaning binds them. And once those four fuse together, you no longer exist as a person in their mind. You exist as an experience they can't replace. That is Machiavelli's hidden dark trick. Control the emotional tempo, and you control the attachment.